Hello, today I'm going to show you how I apply henna to my hair. I use henna instead of hair dye because long ago I learned that it was actually better for the hair. It's sort of a protein treatment. I've actually already hennaed my hair. I'm filming this after, and you can sort of see it's kind of a nice dark red, and I'm going to show you my routine from the mixing up to the application to the rinsing out. And it's a bit of a messy process, but if you're careful and you get your routine down, you can do it pretty easily. And the nice thing about doing henna on your own, it saves you a lot of money because you're not going to the salon to get your roots touched up, at salon expense. You can do it in your own home in the middle of the night, whenever you want to. And it's also, like I said, it's a nice protein treatment for the hair. It's more natural. Not that I have anything against people who dye their hair. I used to do it too. I used to put streaks in, but I haven't done that in ages. I will say a couple of things about henna. Besides it being somewhat messy, you want to make sure that you use non-metallic implements to mix it with. So like a plastic bowl, plastic mixer, chopsticks, that's what I use. I have heard that metal can kind of interfere with the way henna works, and maybe it's an old wives' tale, but I've just never done it that way. So better safe than sorry. It is gloppy, messy, and stainy. It will stain any cloth or solid surface you put it on, and it will stain your hair, obviously. It can get on your skin and make you temporarily orange, like you might see a little orange glob, and that goes away because your skin is very oily, and within days, actually within one day for me, it's all gone, and it's very light anyway, so I don't really worry about it. I just make sure that I'm not doing anything really important the day after I henna, in case it hasn't completely washed off with washing my face. So it is quite messy. So if you're going to do it, you want to wear old clothes. I have an actual t-shirt that I always wear when I henna because I don't care if it gets orange on it, but it's a dark t-shirt, so it doesn't really show anyway. And any towels you use, you need to make sure that you don't care about them. So I have a ratty old beach towel that I use to dry my hair after henna. And I use the ratty old beach towel for about a week or two after when I shampoo, because you still can get a little orange on your towel after you wash your hair. And you may think, well, is it really worth all the trouble if you're going to be oranging around? And to me, it is, because I really like the color I get. It lasts for about 6 weeks, for me at least. It's relatively easy now that I have done it for so long and I'm very comfortable with it. The whole process, if you count from when you mix it up to when you rinse it out, that's a long time, but it's not like constantly. You're mixing it up and you let it sit for a couple hours or overnight, as I did in this case. And then the application takes a while, maybe 20 minutes to a half hour, and then you leave it on for 2 hours. So obviously you can't go anywhere, and then you rinse it out, and that's that. So it is a sort of an all-day process, but it is broken up. I actually mixed up the henna on Monday with the intention of applying it Monday evening, but then I got really ill with a migraine and it was really awful. So I left it overnight, which is not a problem. As you can see, it still worked fine. And I ended up putting it on Tuesday evening, which was last night, and washed it out last night. So this is the henna. This is the henna the next day. And I also filmed a little bit of me after it was done last night. So you'll be able to see it. This is kind of sort of in the daylight, and then you'll see it at night. So it's, it's pretty darn red, and it will fade. It's very bright now. This will kind of tone down a little bit, so it won't be quite so orange. And the scalp picks up a little bit of the color. So the next time I wash it, that'll come out, and you won't see, because you can sort of see there's kind of orange on the scalp. that will go away with the next washing. And again, I don't worry about it. You know, people wear all different color hair nowadays, so I don't even think twice about worrying about an orange scalp for a day. So that's the henna, and now I'm going to show you what I did Monday through Tuesday. These are the main things that I use from my henna box, and I like this type of henna. This is by the company Henna Souk, and I will leave that link below. And this is their organic Rajasthani Indian henna. This is really nice. And then I've also used this one. It's called Red Raj, a little brighter than the other. They kind of give a color guide. Like this one has a very red looking color on the lady, and then this one's a little browner. But they both come out looking nicely red on me. I also have this, and this is like so old, but I've been using it the whole time. This is marshmallow root powder, and I don't even know if this company is still in business, From Nature with Love. I'll check it and link it below, or something similar. And I use this to thicken the henna if I've added too much water, and I will show you that when I mix it up. When I'm ready to go, when the color is developed, I sometimes have to add the marshmallow powder to it just to thicken it. And then I have one of these. I got this at Sally Beauty Supply. I actually have two, but with my hair now, I mostly just treat the scalp because the rest of my hair, the roots, stay very red. I'm just treating the gray and brightening up the color. So I measure enough to fit into one bottle. I will show you that as well. And then I got this package. These are shower caps that you use like the hairdresser would use. They're single use and disposable, and they were very cheap. I got them on Amazon, and I'll link them. And then on top of that, when I wrap my hair, I also use one of these Turby towels, and you can see this one is very stained. However, it works great, and it holds everything in place, and it's just going to get stained up anyway, so I don't stress about it, and I don't worry about, I wash it obviously, but I don't worry about getting rid of the stain, because you can't really get rid of henna stain. It's a bit of a mess. So anyway, so that's what I use. And also too, it's important with the henna you use on your hair to use what they call body art quality, BAQ. I had once used, and I'm kind of trying to look in this, I might have gotten rid of it. Oh no, here it is. I was once desperate, and I had run out of henna, and I just picked this up at an Indian grocery store not too far away, and it worked okay. It didn't damage my hair, but I don't think the color was as nice. So I always try to get really good quality, body art quality henna, and like I said, I love this company. So now I will show you how I mix it all up. I'm going to show you how to mix up the henna now. I'm a little out of screen because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing here. So the first thing I do, this henna comes in packets of 100 grams. I never use 100 grams. So I'm going to measure out a third of it. So I've already used 33 grams, so I'm going to measure out another 33, and that's what I'll use to mix it up. So I've got my scale, and it's zeroed, and then I just dump this in here until I see it hit 33. And of course my numbers are tiny, so I just get it to about 30. And that's all I need then. So once I get that mixed up, then I'm going to heat up some water. And I always use filtered water since it's for my hair. So I'm heating that up right now. While that's heating up, I get the rest of what I use. And what I do, I put a little bit of cold filtered water in here. And then I'm going to add some lemon juice because apparently it helps the henna to develop if you make it a little bit acidic. And I never measure this, it's always just random. So I just kind of squirt, I imagine that's about a tablespoon. And then I just kind of mix that up, and then I'm going to add hot water to this because you don't want boiling water when you mix henna. You want to have it plenty warm, but not boiling. And I always use plastic for everything I do with henna because, again, I've heard metal can make it not develop properly and you might get a weird color. That could just be an old wives' tale, and frankly I'm too lazy to look it up. I've always done it this way, so I do it this way. So I use this plastic thing, and it doesn't really stain it as long as you rinse it out once you're all done. So my water's almost hot, so I'm going to dump my henna into here, and then I'll wash that out, obviously. Get that out of the way. And I always stir it using chopsticks. These are just cheap old chopsticks I got from a takeout dinner, so I have those handy. And the water doesn't have to be boiling, but as long as you see steam coming out, and then I just go ahead and I pour that. So it looks like I have roughly a cup of water. I might need a little more. So I'm just going to pour this into the henna. And I don't dump the whole bit in because, you know, I don't want it to be too runny. So obviously that's going to need a little more water. So I dump the rest of that in. And stirring it up it takes a while. So right now the henna is sort of like a little bit pudding-ish. I'm going to add more water though because there's still chunks in here. So I'm going to add a little bit more. And I don't worry about getting every last chunk mixed in because as it develops over the next couple of hours, the chunks will dissolve and blend in. So that takes care of that. So again, it's sort of like, I don't know if you can see, just sort of a runny pudding. And then I'm going to take some plastic wrap and I'm going to put that over the top. And then I'm just going to set it over here on the counter and let it develop. I usually like to leave it for hours and hours. I think you need a minimum of 2 hours, but I think it's better if it's a little longer. So I usually do this, let it sit for, right now it is 1:15 roughly. And I'm not going to do this until after dinner, so that'll give it a good 5 or 6 hours to develop, and I'll show you that part when we get there. Hello again. We are back, and this is the day after that I mixed up the henna. Usually I like to do it the day of, but I got a little bit sick last night with a migraine and all sorts of icky symptoms. So I left it for today, which you can do. And so I'm going to show you the next part of the mixing of the henna. I've got my chopsticks. And also you'll notice I'm wearing like a really old shirt. You have to wear icky clothes because this may drip on your clothes and stain them. So I just wear a really old, awful t-shirt. Okay, so I'm going to show you the henna. As you can see, it's kind of liquidy right now. And so I'm going to kind of give it a little stir and get these little chunks along the back. But I am going to add some marshmallow powder to it. And I think I showed this to you in the previous clip. And I just add like a tablespoon at a time. Oh, sorry about that squeaking. That's my dog in the background. He's playing with his toy. Okay, so I'm going to add the marshmallow powder. And the tricky thing here is that the marshmallow powder takes a little while to absorb the excess liquid. And so you have to get it to still a pourable stage so you can pour it in your bottle. But don't wait too long because then it'll get really thick and you can't put it in the bottle. All right, so this is my first, I don't know if you can see it, my first tablespoon. I'm going to go ahead and mix that up. Point here is to get the mixture so that it'll kind of sit on your head and not drip down. It'll drip a little bit, but you don't want it to be like liquid pouring down your neck. It's really kind of gross. Okay, so that's still a little soupy. So I'm going to add, it's close. I'm going to add another tablespoon of marshmallow. And then pretty soon after adding this, I'm going to pour it into my bottle, my application bottle. Okay, so now you see that it's getting pretty darn thick. So I want to add this. And I always put a paper towel down when I'm pouring it in because like I said, it'll stain. So I've almost made this a little too thick. It's gonna just barely go into the bottle, but this is a good consistency because then it's gonna sit on my hair and it won't drip down my neck too badly. And again, I don't need very much of this, so it only fills the bottle about halfway because I'm only really putting this on the top of my head. Now, if you want to use more henna and if you want to cover all of your hair, you can use 60 grams or the full 100. It's kind of up to you how much you want. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. And then just wipe the excess off the side and get the top on. So that's ready to go. And then I've collected the things I showed, the towel, the plastic shower cap, I got my henna, and then I also bring a comb down. This one doesn't stain, so I always use this, and also a portable mirror, and I'll show you that set up downstairs. And while I'm downstairs, I will grab some gloves, because you have to use gloves when you're dealing with henna. Hi again, here we are. We're in my basement, probably the most unglamorous place ever. It's a true basement, what can I say? And as I said, I'm wearing my old icky t-shirt that I don't care if I get henna globs on it. My hair is washed, but I did not put conditioner in it because the conditioner, as you know, kind of coats the strands of hair, and I don't want anything coated. I want the henna to be able to absorb. So that's what I've done there. And I like to do it with my hair wet. I guess you can do it with your hair dry, but I don't like that because I don't feel like it spreads. I'm going to show you my little setup here. I've got my mirror and I've put a paper towel down here with my comb because you'll see when I do this, I have to put this on, use the comb, and I don't want the base of the mirror to get icky. And then over here, I've got some extra paper towels because to catch drips. And then I have my plastic shower cap all set up and my towel that goes over that ready to go. It's important to have everything ready to go because you're working with time, catching drips, and you don't want anything to get in your way. I have a pair of gloves here, which I will put on. And that's pretty much it. And I'll show you the technique. When I rinse it out, I do rinse it upstairs in my bathroom, but I have a special way of doing that so I don't get orange all over the place. So, oh, and also I've taken off all my jewelry and I'm wearing old glasses because the henna will be in my hair and it'll get on the rims of the glasses and stain them. And yeah, now some people will put moisturizer on their face because your skin will pick up the color. But my skin is oily enough that the next day when I wash my face, it's all gone. So, all right, hold on and I'll show you how I do this. So I have you looking at me. I'll be looking in the mirror most of the time, just so I can watch what I'm doing. So I'm donning my gloves. And I've got my henna here. And one little pointer as I use it, since there's not much in the bottle, when I set it down on the paper towel, I set it down this way so that it doesn't all flop back here and I gotta go squishy, 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 which makes a big mess. All right, so the first thing I do then, try and show you this, I part my hair down the middle and get everything aside. And I don't know if you can tell, you can see the color differentiation. And that's just because it's been 6 weeks since I've done this and it grew up. All right, so the first thing I do then, I start right here and I'm gonna just do like a bead of henna. And I try to keep this hand clean and I use this one to kind of squish it through and just sort of mush it. I'm kind of mushing it down. Then I take the comb And about a 1/4 inch away from the previous parting, I separate the hair and I put another bead and squish it in. And right now I'm not going to worry about the framing of the face. I'll get that later. This mainly is just to get the main body covered in henna. Okay, and again, another little 1/4 inch, a bead, and smush. And I'm going to keep on doing that. So I think I'll put this on a hyperlapse or whatever they call it and show you that in fast motion. Okay, so I have henna all above the glasses line. I do this because I'm gonna have to take my glasses off to do the rest, but I kind of like to see what I'm doing, and I'm pretty blind without them. But I'll show you one thing that I also do. I like to comb through my hair, and I don't go all the way to the back because it'll go splish splosh. So I just kind of comb the henna through, and this is helpful because it kind of shows me at the end when I'm using up the last bits. I can see parts where, well, in fact, like this one I want to do right away. Parts where it looks sparse as far as the henna goes. Okay, so now I'm going to take my glasses off. And this gets a little tricky. And the stuff in the back, I kind of am doing that blind. I used to have my husband help me, and then there was this one time when he couldn't, and I found that I could do it okay on my own. So I'll show you this technique. So what I do, I kind of just comb the hair back and get a glob here. You know, same kind of technique. And I do try to get this little bit in front of the ear, because one time I didn't, and it looked really stupid because that was sort of gray and the rest was red. It looked terrible. And then I'm going to sort of comb back and get behind the ear. And again, like, this will get on your ear and stuff, so if you're worried about it, you can put moisturizer on or Vaseline or whatever. I just never bother with that because I never go anywhere the morning after I do henna. So like I said, it all washes out. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And getting that little corner. And I will wipe my ears off when I'm basically done. Okay, and then I got to get this way back part here, and then I'll show you how I do the back. And it's kind of a matter of touch. So if you're doing henna for the first time, you might want to have a friend help you. Okay, so now I'm going to try to get the back. So I'm going to make a part and spread it aside. And this, I'm just going to start like a glob and then use even pressure, guessing that I'm getting the glob I need. And the parts in the back, I typically do about a 1/2 inch apart, because the henna will smoosh down, and so all those areas get covered. So I kind of do three parts on the right and 3 on the left. Again, starting the glob so I know what pressure to use. Now I'll get the other side. And you can kind of feel the thickness of the glob as you're smushing it in, so you'll know like if you don't have enough. Okay, so last one on this side. Okay, and then again, I'm going to take the comb and just gently comb through. You don't want to go bloop because it'll shoot henna down your back. So I'm just kind of gently going through. Now, if I were doing my full head of hair, I would then, and I kind of do this with the leftovers, I would split my hair like this and just kind of work it in. So I'll show you a little bit of that. So what I would do is, I gotta watch this in the mirror. I can't see it in the phone screen because, like I said, I'm blind without my glasses. And then, you know, just kind of smooshy it in. I don't have to worry about this though, because the ends, they stay red, and they always look, you know, they always look red forever, you know, because it doesn't really go away. It does fade, but it doesn't really go away. Shoot, you know, I left my watch on. I shouldn't have done that. Hopefully I won't get any, but I can't do anything now because I've got henna gloves, and if I touch it, it's going to stain it. So I'm just going to have to be very careful not to get henna on my watch. So again, I'm just kind of smooshing. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and go through the top and get any areas that I think maybe look a little sparse as far as color, and just kind of smush and comb like this here. That kind of smush through. And to get the henna out, I just sort of tap it on my head, because we're getting down to the last of it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist my hair up kind of like this, and sort of make like a little wraparound. And what I do then, I just put a little bit of henna up here to sort of temporarily glue it in place. So that I can get the other one wrapped. Same thing, you know, it's just a messy wrap, and it doesn't matter because it's all going to be encased in the shower cap. Okay, so that's there. So now I'm going to work on the hairline. And this is tricky because you don't want your forehead to be turning solid orange, but yet you want those little baby hairs, and it's hard to get them all. I usually can't get every last one. And don't worry if you get on your forehead, we're going to wipe that off soon. And these are especially hard, these thin little baby hairs here. But again, I want to get them because they're typically kind of gray, and so I don't want gray hair showing. All right, so I'm just, I hope you can see that all right. Just getting baby hairs. And again, kind of checking that area in front of the ear. Make sure that that's covered. Okay, and then I'm gonna get the other side. Ew, one of my little pigtails just flopped out, but I'll fix that in a minute. So just kind of do like a bead and then sort of smush it back. And we're really getting down to the end because I'm having to shake this. Okay. All right, so I'm going to grab my errant ponytail, get that back up here, and glue it back down again. And it's okay if this henna gets on the length of the hair. It's not really going to absorb much more, so you know, you can do that as you like. It's kind of a messy glob. And then with all the remaining, again tapping it on my head, I'm just going to kind of smoosh this through the top. Sorry about the fart sound, that's not me, it's the bottle, I swear. And smoosh that in. And then the last bit I'm going to get is the way back of my hair. This is kind of hard to get. And I'm just sort of cupping, I don't know if you can see this, kind of cupping my hand and globbing some henna. And this is so the, you know, the back of my head doesn't look a different color than the rest. Okay. And then the rest, I'm just going to kind of randomly glob because, like I said, this will just sink in and be absorbed. And that's about all I can get. I don't want to do too much of that squishy because it'll spray it everywhere. All right, and then just kind of mushing it. All right, then I'm going to take my gloves off carefully. Okay, there we go. And right away I'm going to grab my shower cap and just try to contain everything. And I just sort of make sure, see I got this little bit in the back that I need to tuck in. And then I'm going to bring this kind of close to the hairline. And I like my ears uncovered so I can hear and so I can put my glasses on. Okay, so now we can do cleanup. Just going to get this wet. And then I'm just going to, see I got this big glob here. Just going to kind of dab that off. And I'm going to get sort of close to the hairline. I don't want to take all the color off, but I just want to make sure that I'm not going to have too much orange to worry about in the morning. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And then, you know, I kind of wipe off my neck. Still a little bit here that has escaped that I gotta tuck in. Okay, so then now I'm ready for my turby towel. And this goes on sort of backwards. And then you twist it up. And there's a little loop somewhere back here. And this tail, the tail goes in the loop. And then you're good to go. And then I put my glasses back on so I can see. Okay, so what's gonna happen now, I'm gonna leave this in for about 2 hours. While it's in, there may be some drippage. So anywhere I sit, I take an old beach towel. This ratty old kind of dog chewed, it's clean, but it's ratty. And I will drape this on the back of the couch so that if anything drips, it's not going to get on the furniture. I also keep extra paper towels handy because as the hours progress, I will see drippage coming here, down the back, and it's uncomfortable and icky and it can stain your neck. So I just kind of keep going and dabbing it off with paper towels, you know, you go through a lot. So it's about 5:30, so I want to keep this in until at least 7:30. And what I need to do now is clean this up. I do this in the basement sink, clean up this bottle and my comb, get them all cleaned up down here where it's not going to mess up the kitchen sink upstairs. And then when I'm all done with waiting for the henna, I'll talk you through what I do to rinse it out. I also check on the basement floor just to make sure that I didn't glob anything because it'll stain the floor too. Not that it really matters because this is a basement, but still, you don't want brown glob spots on your basement floor. So yeah, I do that, and I have washed my bottle and my comb, that's all clean. I'm gonna bring my stuff upstairs, and then I usually just browse the internet or watch TV to kill the time during the 2 hours when I have to wait before I'm ready to rinse. So I know this is really gross looking. This is after I've washed my hair with the conditioner, and it looks like a crime scene, but it cleans up real nice. Hi again. So my hair has been washed out and it has dried, and I don't know if you'll be able to see the color. I do have the light on, you know, the spotlight on, but yeah, but I like how it came out, and you don't see that line of demarcation where the new hair, which is brown and gray, was coming in. And so yeah, so it's kind of I really like the way henna looks, and also it is a protein treatment as well. I'll take another video tomorrow during the day and show you it in the daylight, and then I'll also show you the cleansing routine, the post henna application cleansing routine. I didn't have time to do that tonight other than to make that clip of the disgusting looking water in the bathtub. But I'll show you the rest tomorrow, and then you'll have my entire henna routine. So see you then. So here I am in the bathtub, and all I do is, before I get in, I take the shower cap off and throw it in the garbage. And then I have the tub filled with warm water, and I just kind of lay back and I'll spread my hair out and totally submerge my hair in the water. And then I get up and I grab my cheap conditioner, because you don't have to, don't waste expensive stuff. I typically use this Garnier Fructis stuff just because I have it. And I use it, I don't use shampoo, I do a conditioner wash. So you get a huge glob in my hand of the conditioner, get it all the way washed through, get it through the length, kind of scrub a little bit, and then I do the same thing. I rinse, I go back down, rinse, make sure my head is completely in the water, get that all rinsed out, and then I come back up one more time, and then I use the spray. Ooh, it's dripping. I use the sprayer, the dripping sprayer, and kind of spray out my hair, being careful not to let the spray hit in the back and get orange everywhere. And then when I'm all done, I just kind of rinse myself off and get out, and then the tub looks pretty awful. And I think I already showed you a clip of the icky orangey brown water post henna. So that's how you get it out of the hair. Hi again. It's now about a week later after I hennaed my hair, and I apologize for the disjointed way I put together the video. I think I explained it all. I was very tired the night I finished up the henna, and so I didn't do the demonstration of how to rinse it out until after I had already rinsed it out. So this is how it looks then about a week later. Yeah, obviously I have it in a bun. And you can see that the scalp, I think you can see, there's no more orange on the scalp itself. It's just the red in the hair. And so this is kind of how it looks. And right now when I wash my hair, not too much orange is coming out onto the towel. I also wanted to point out that I am currently wearing one of the lipsticks that I did a video on. It was a sample and it was called Chai Love You. And this is what it looks like on the lips. And this is what it looks like in the lipstick form. And it's really pretty and I do like it. Also too, this type of lipstick is not too, I don't know, slippery, I guess is the word I'm looking for. This one kind of goes on and stays put. I had mentioned that one of my favorite colors is the one called Naughty, and that's a little more slippery, which I kind of prefer not to have because I want it to stay put. So this one's really good so far, so I really like it. Anyway, so that was my how to henna your hair video, and I hope that it was helpful. If you have any questions on my henna routine, feel free to drop a question in the comments section. I'll try to answer as best as I'm able. And good luck if you try to henna. It's really nice. It's really nice once you get past all the gloppy mess of putting it on. Have a good one, and I'll see you next video. Bye.